Hi, how you doing? I'm Jermaine and welcome to Abravah. Today we've got two lovely people we're going to interview around marriage. So, introduce yourselves. Who have we got today?
Hi, I'm Tammy. Hello.
I'm Daniel.
Okay, nice to meet you both. So, the first question I've got for you is, how long have you guys been married? Because you still look fresh in the face.
5 years.
In May.
5 years in May?
Yes.
Is that 4 and a bit or is that 5 years?
It's 4 months of 5 years.
Okay, so this year will be 5 years of marriage. Oh, so milestone.
Mm-hmm.
And how's that been?
Educational.
Okay.
It's been a journey.
The journey.
Up and downs. But you know, we talk about things and then we get through them.
Okay. And was marriage the way is marriage now? How you guys visioned it when you thought, let's get married?
Together.
Yeah.
I think it is now. I think we are coming to that point for me that I envisage marriage being when I was asked the question.
Okay.
Yes and no. Yes, because I've been lucky. We've got kids, and it's the sort of route I always saw my life going in anyway.
Okay.
I said I've been married when I was 25. I was 26, right? I got married. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah. So I said I was 25, so I want to get married by 25. But no, because I see it different to the traditional sort of marriages I've seen before.
Okay.
So I'm like, but I like it because it's fresh, it's new, it's something different. We've been through together, and every journey we've kind of tackled and kind of accepted certain things and said we're going to move on and talk about things and move forward together.
Okay. So I'm going to take you guys way back now, so it might take a while for you to get memory of this one. But what was the earliest memory you can remember of your first date?
First date.
First date. So Daniel, do you remember your first date?
You know, we haven't really had dates. We more had like...
We've had dates, but not dates where we've gone out then, let's say, and gone to a restaurant or spent the day here or there.
Yeah.
So my earliest memory of our first encounter in that sense is when I came round and we had a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we just talked and talked and talked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What did we talk about, or can we share that?
we talked about
Keep it PG, we've got that
Different things, to be fair. I mean, we just spoke about life. We have
Life.
spoke about past relationships as well.
I think when we met, there was somebody in each of our lives who was present, but not in a serious capacity.
Yeah.
And we used to talk about that with each other, didn't we? And bounce ideas and get advice off each other.
So you two were kind of your advice centres first.
Yeah.
Okay.
For other relationships.
Yeah.
So what was it that made you say, actually, there's something about us that connects together?
For me, okay, put me on the spot. Okay, so for me, I didn't realise that I had feelings for Daniel or liked him in that way.
Okay.
And so he was very much just a friend to me. And sorry, I've lost the question now.
So what made you realise this is the person for each other?
I think it was because I had built that friendship with him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything physical. It was more about the friendship that had grown and then had started to blossom into something else that I didn't realise that had happened until it was hitting me in the face, really.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I think the same. Because at the beginning we didn't really like each other. To be fair. But as he was growing, well, when I said growing, as we started spending a lot more time together, we realised there was things that was different. So we kind of, just set off on a different path away from the people that we was with before. And here we are, 5 years, not even 5 years later. What? It's 9 years later, actually. Yeah. So it's been a total of 9 years together. 5 years married, but 9 years together.
Okay, I can relate. I've been there. I'm there myself. So earlier you mentioned that there's children in the relationship.
Yes.
How has children changed the relationship? Or has it changed the relationship?
Yeah, it has. I don't mean it in a harsh way, but it's changed because your focus is no longer on each other. Your focus is now on the kids, which takes away the time that you could have had for each other. especially when we had Talia as well. In fact, we had with Malachi and Amy, who was before we got married anyway, but they were kind of grown in their own sense. So, but when Talia came along, we kind of took away, in the initial stage, any sort of connection we should have had together. So we took all the focus onto the kids and less focus on ourselves, when we should have had, or we could have had more focus on ourselves. And
it takes away that freedom to be able to explore
yeah,
who we were together, because we just had to, we were thrown into the reality of, okay, you know, you're having a baby and this is what life is going to be like from now on.
yeah,
So then you focus, well, my focus just completely changes.
yeah. And I think now with
Get
4 of
serious
us,
real quick.
now with the 4 of them that we've got, I think we've learned to balance and juggle certain things. So because a few are older, they can look after the younger ones, which gives us more time to kind of get to know each other a bit more, the time that we never had before.
Okay then. So obviously you've mentioned having children and time restraints and getting to speak to each other. One of the questions I've got, I know in relationships you get conflicts and arguments all the time. What's one of the ways that you guys resolve conflicts in your marriage? Without breaking plates or doors.
I'm pretty bad at this, so I'm going to let you answer it. I'm going to let you answer it.
Okay, so initially I have been very hot-headed, so my resolution of conflict would be to argue, shout and scream and moan, and Junior is not as confrontational, should we say. So he has educated me in becoming a better person, I would say. So now when we have conflict between us and I feel we need to talk about it, I will think first about how I want that conversation to go. Do I want it, because if I approach him in the wrong way, then that's it. I've hit a wall. He's stubborn. I'm stubborn, and neither of us gets what we want. So I will approach him in a manner that I know he is acceptable to him, and will allow us to have a conversation to get to where I want it to be in that, in that time to clear the air. And I think he appreciates those efforts there, and he's more willing to talk back with me and a little bit more understanding then, shall we say. He's not so closed off to my side of things. So yeah, that's just my perspective.
No, I'd agree with that. I was going to come from the stubborn angle. Tammy will say something that's actually true, and I'll be like, that's it, we're not having this conversation. But I've learned from Tammy as well to kind of see a different side of what I was initially thinking. And instead of just hearing what she's saying, actually listen to what she's saying, and take it on board and kind of dissect where we need to go from there. So I think it's been a learning curve on both parts when it comes to confrontation or conflict in the relationship.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a spanner question in the work now. You ready for this one? So this one's with the intention of
boom.
How well do you know each other? So Abravah has just purchased a brand new plane. Okay, because we made money like that, Roger. So we fly over a desert island and we throw you both off. We've got all your belongings in the plane. Okay, what 2 items, Daniel, do you save for Tammy? And what 3 items, Tammy, do you save for Daniel?
Hold on, does she get 3
She
and I
gets
only
3.
get 2?
Yeah. It's a man's world, but the women make the choices.
What 2 items do I... So she's got a bag already.
So we got all your belongings in our Abravah plane, bless the Lord, and we're about to throw everything out, but you've got to save 2 items.
Save 2 items.
So what 2 items of Tammy's do you save that you know she's going to appreciate?
I was gonna say a phone, but she doesn't always need it.
Okay. So what 2 answers are you going with? Cue quiz music.
You went first.
No, you won't.
Okay.
I'll get 3.
You get 3, I get 2. Then you should go first. Oh, I'll go first. Comfortable shoes,
Okay.
and I said coat, because you're always cold.
So comfortable shoes and coat.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does Daniel need, Tammy? We did say desert island.
You see what I'm saying? Desert island.
We didn't say the temperature of the island. So that might be okay, guys, for those that are viewing this.
Thanks.
Okay, so I would need mince pies.
That is Daniel, yeah? Okay.
I need mince pies.
Yeah. We also didn't say this time of the year that we're
You can
flying
eat them all
off,
year round,
Yeah.
folks. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna tell you where though.
You're not going to need electricals because one of those islands.
So we've got mince pies.
Yeah, we've got mince pies. I would say. Okay, now this is putting it out there. Alright, a little bit.
Really going out there. That's
you,
a Bravo.
I want to hear this.
You would need your beard trimmer
Yeah,
so that you can fill your face.
I agree with that.
When it gets a little bit too gruff, I start calling Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
So he would need that because he wouldn't be able to take the shame. Okay. So
Like
you
Tom
have
Hanks in
trimmer.
what's that film called?
Castaway.
That's the one.
Okay.
So beard trimmer, mince pies, and what may I be then?
Wait, then you can't say you because
Okay,
you're already there.
So we threw you both off.
Not your coconut oil, because we'd have coconuts with the desert island. So potentially we'd have coconuts.
How about you thinking? You can't look at me for that, so
That's why we gave him
I'm
three.
looking-
Three's harder to
yeah,
pick
I'm
than
looking
two.
at you. Just makes me think.
He can't confirm, by the way.
No, he's not going to confirm,
Yeah.
but if I look at him, I know the type of things that he likes.
Oh,
It just
okay,
couldn't
okay.
resonate with me. So yeah,
you should have known before you looked at me anyway.
and Mike.
And the mic.
There's no electric.
Practice.
Go.
Okay, so yours is a mince pie. Yeah. Beard trimmer.
You need a box of mince pies.
A box of mince pies, beard trimmer, and a microphone. And for Tammy, comfortable shoes.
Can I change that
and a
last
coat.
one? Can I change that last one?
No, I think we're going with that now. I think we're going with that now.
I'm not changing mine because I reckon that's what you need.
So do you
I need to
guys?
change that last one.
So do you think he's picked the right items for yourself?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Why would I need a coat for a start? Trainers, yes, because I'm a bit suspect about what I'm stepping on.
Okay.
Boom.
So-
Got one right.
That's okay. But I don't think I need a coat. I think I might need some pajamas. I'm just going to go with that.
On
Wow.
a desert
It
island.
doesn't matter. I don't want to sleep naked. On a desert island.
Yeah, but then you got a coat to cover you up.
No, it's not the same as having pajamas. Ladies, please back me up on this one. You've got to have pajamas. Sorry. Yeah.
1 out of 2. I'm
Okay. And Daniel,
Big bags.
were they the right answers for yourself? Mince pies.
I would have just said food, not just mince pies.
Okay.
I need food
Too much.
because
Yeah.
no.
No. Too very isn't food.
One of desert island we can.
Can't
What island
have
is
what
it?
have you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Is it
no-
okay? Because
If he wants mince pies or food, then it's up to him. But
Yeah, but you just see if saying just
Okay.
kill whatever animals there,
Alright,
innit?
so you're happy with mince pies or
mince-
food?
Food. Alright,
Should
mince
be food,
pies. Yes, that's
okay.
one. What else did you say?
Beard trimmer
Beard trimmer.
and a microphone.
Don't know about the microphone because I was just saying a cappella. There's no band, there's no stage, and all that, so I'm alright.
Yeah.
Beard trimmer, I agree with. Do need that. Yeah. 2 out
Okay.
of 3.
So 2 out of 3 and 1 out of 2 for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so round of applause, guys. Interestingly enough, they didn't say their children,
Oh, because
but we're moving.
You didn't
on.
say
I'm
children.
joking. It was only play. We're only playing. we're only playing.
I did
Never
think
trust the
that.
commentator.
I thought that, but I didn't think they were coming into the equation.
That can be
That's
edited.
set up.
We got
That's
set off.
bad.
So-
That mess was real bad.
So another thing is, Daniel, you're a singer. You sing in a group called Classic Soul,
Yeah.
and you was also once one of the singers in the Drifters.
Mhm.
And you both also own a company, Sports for Kids.
Yeah.
So how does that work in marriage? 'Cause that's a lot of work going into the household, to already busy household.
It's a lot. It's a lot to have to deal with. In a sense of the upkeep of that, but as well for our relationship it is a lot, isn't it? There are times where the laptop is out and it's late at night and work needs to be done, but obviously there's been no time for us, so we have kind of had squabbles, haven't we,
Yeah.
about that. But I think that we both understand that it's the legacy that we're trying to pass down to the children, so sacrifices need to be made now in order for us to achieve what we want later in life. And later in life, really and truly, because the kids are small now, that is just our lifestyle. It's busy now. In 10, 15 years time, when they are grown and hopefully settled in whatever walk they're on, whatever path they're on, and it's our time, then we will be able to just kick back and take that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
sacrifices have to be made.
Definitely, I totally agree. Welcome to Abravah. So another question then is, what inspires your relationship to keep going? And I'll throw that at you, Daniel. What inspires you both to keep going?
What inspires a relationship to keep going? Knowing that I'm a role model to my kids, knowing that I'm the man of the house, knowing that I have a responsibility and a duty of care to look after those who is in the house and around me, to keep going. So yeah, I'd probably put that at the top of the list, to be quite honest. And with that, it motivates me to get up and want to be better than I was yesterday as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll put that at the top of the list.
What about yourself, Tammy?
Okay, so firstly, my children. So because this is as well as it being our life, this is their life, first and foremost, and this is what they know, and we are trying to create that stable environment for them, not just in a way of life, but also in what they see in us as their parents, for when they get older and have their own relationships. So, and for myself, we made a commitment, so it's not about breaking that commitment and saying, oh, I can't handle it anymore, it's too tough. You've got to find a way to make that work, to turn it around, and to always try, because you made that commitment to each other, and I believe as an individual it's about honouring that commitment, for first and foremost for my kids, my husband, for myself.
Okay.
So
great answer. I like the little pause on that as well. It works really well. So another question that I'm going to ask, and I have to read it again because we sent you guys quite a lot of questions, and I can't even read my own writing, but it says, so they say some men marry their parents, or someone similar to them in their parents. Some women would choose qualities that they find in their fathers, and some their mother and fathers. How would you respond to that one in your relationship?
I'd agree with that. This question was it's one I chose because I thought it fits Tammy perfectly, because the hard work I've seen my mum do, the hard work I've seen us to raise 4 kids on her own, to put in the work and do everything for them. I see the same thing in Tammy. But then I also see the when you told your mum not to do something once, you said, Mum, it's alright, just leave it. But she persists that you need to have this one thing. Tammy's also that person. So I'm like, it's not as in a thing where she wants to rebel, she just wants to make sure you've got the best of everything. That's why I say that she's the replica of what mum is, or my mum is, or our mum is. No. Yeah. So yeah. That's why I chose it.
We got battery life stuff. I'm gonna throw 2 more questions in. Don't know about this question on yourself, but I'll throw it out there anyway.
I'm Tammy.
Both of you, but Tammy more. I'm like, I didn't know this one actually. So you both kind of grew up in single parent homes where the father was missing. What impact does that have on your relationship, if it does in any way, on your relationship today? Like, do you see a man's role important, or at least as important, because of that? And do you feel that for yourself, Danny, there's more of an importance for a man role in your relationship because the lack of in your growing up?
Okay, so I'll go first. I think the importance of a male role model in the family home is very extreme. You do need it. I think children definitely need it, in the sense of my older 2 children are from a previous relationship, and my eldest is a girl. She's 21. So for her, when we met, she'd hit that stage of, you know, secondary school and hormonal and all these changes, and for all her life really I didn't notice it, but she had kind of got her way in everything with me. Although I was very strict, she got her way in a lot of things. And then we met Daniel, and he came into the home, and he highlighted that they kind of ran me a little bit, and then things had to change. We had to become a family unit, and it was difficult for her because she'd never had that. But now, 9 years on, to see the relationship that they have with Daniel signifies to me how important it is to have that role model there, because they appreciate it so much more, having that person to turn to, having that stability, that guidance, that discipline, and they're thankful for it, and so it is very important to me.
Yeah, I think I'll second that. I think coming from it was kind of different for me, because although the father wasn't around, there was still elements of me saying, alright, I don't want to do it that way, because if that way hasn't worked, I have to try a different way that is going to work. So when I knew that I was having my kids, or there was kids present, I knew that I had to be, as I said, that role model, that figure that they look up to say, alright, maybe let's look at the right from wrong, what's the right way to do things, which has kind of grown and matured me into the person I am today, especially working with young people as well, and seeing them come from single parent homes as well. It's kind of, I wouldn't say put me in a spotlight, but it's made me realise that I am, without it sounding big-headed, a role model to quite a lot of people, and having to be that person. It's a tough role to be, but it's one, if you know, what's the word, if your integrity is right, and you know you've got a job to fulfill, you know that you've got to do it to the best of your ability, because people are watching you. There's a 14-year-old who's watching me, there's a 21-year-old who's watching me, there's a 2-year-old who's trying to mimic everything I do. So I'll have to be a role model to all those people who's watching me, and set the right example for them.
Okay. And my second to last question now, so we are wrapping this up now. You can edit that part out.
You said second to last, is this the last?
Second to last, got one more after this. I like to end on a high.
Cool.
That just been low, but you know, shoot for the stars question. But this one's to Tammy then. So Tammy, you've met Daniel. You said before you had 2 previous. Talk me through how that feels. Right? You've got a new guy coming in, and he's kind of playing a semi-role as well. Well, I don't call it semi-role. Playing a role as dad, and having to give some kind of power to say, I give you authority to kind of speak to my children.
Oh. Okay.
Because statistically, they say that's not an easy role to do for father or mother. Apparently, I'm up for being challenged on this, guys, at Abravah.com, that it's harder for men to give authority to another man to speak to their children than it is for a woman to give authority.
Okay, so for me, I was a single parent. I was a very good single parent. I was mum and dad to my children. So there was nothing really that anybody else needed to come in and do. I was quite happy with that role. So when I met Daniel and we got married and things started to change, I had to pull back on my way of thinking. I had to accept that he was there for us, and that I didn't have to do everything on my own. So, which was very tough. It was very tough, because that was the way of life that I've always known. So it was about me changing my way of thinking, and also it was easy for me to do that with Daniel because of how he interacted with them. He wasn't coming in with this big sergeant trip of do this, don't do that, I'm the man of the house. He was a friend to them, and he made them feel comfortable. He made it very easy to allow him to be disciplinary to them, even though he's not their biological father. He is their stepdad. He does raise them, he looks after them, and he wants the best for them. and that shines through in every decision he makes for them. Whether that be good, bad, punishment, that's quite clear, and so it just became easy to do. So now, we're not about smacking or hitting, so that's not an issue for me. We're about talking things through and disciplining when needed, and by way of educating. So it's not something that we do to spite, and our children understand that. All of them, from 21 right down to 2, they all understand that. So, and I think that's just how we've come to be.
That's good. So guys, thank you for being part of Abravah today.
You're welcome.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
It has.
And again, this has been Daniel and Tammy, and this is Abravah.